Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to Read with Melanin. Today we are talking about books that are coming out in the month of June that I actually want to read. Not saying that I'm going to read them all this month, not saying that I'm buying all of them this month, just that they caught my attention and it's books that I want to check out. I would also like to say that I was gifted a book by Penguin Teen and I was given the audiobooks by Macmillan Audio for some of these books, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to read them via audiobook. It just means that I was gifted them, so I'm also going to let you guys know which ones of those, because these books were on my list, hence why I got them, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't just choose them because these were on my list before Macmillan sent them to me. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start with the first one. I have my little tray here so we can do our typical reading. The first one is Storm, Dawn of a Goddess by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm very excited for this book. This book I'm actually purchasing. I haven't bought it yet. I'm basically treating myself to a book day. But it's on the list of one of the books that I will be buying this month, and it is... The premise says, before she was the superhero Storm of Marvel's X-Men, she was Aurora of Cairo, a teenage thief on the streets of Egypt, until her growing powers catch the eye of a villain who steals people's souls. I am very happy for this prequel. I love Storm, obviously, so I like reading about Storm, especially her origins, where she came from, how, you know, before she became the deity that we all love. So very excited about this book. It came out on June 4th. I am recording this on June 8th, I think. So some of these books would have already come out already, but it is what it is. Another book, I've already read this book, so if you are interested in my thoughts, head over and check out the books that I read in the month of May. But the next book that I was interested in reading is Four Eids and a Funeral by Farida Abike Ayimedi and Adiba Jagadar. This book came out June 4th as well. It is a book focusing on two ex-best friends, Saeed and Tiwa, where Saeed comes home for the summer, but he comes home a little early because their favorite childhood librarian has passed away for the funeral, and then something tragic happens to their community and they're kind of forced to work together, and this is where we learn around Four Eids what happens to their friendship and why it happened. I think you guys would enjoy this one. I've already read it, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Check out the other video if you want to know my full thoughts. The next book comes out June 11th, and that is Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This book I actually was gifted by Macmillan Audio for the audiobook, but I had actually planned this for the library, so if the library actually ends up having it when it's published, then I'm actually planning on reading this one. I just, you know, I have a book date planned, so I want to make sure I have books to read. But this one is, it says Bridget Jones' Diary meets Survival of the Thickest in Danielle Allen's Curvy Girl Summer, a smoking hot, hilarious novel about the perils of online dating. Aaliyah is determined to celebrate her 30th birthday with a boyfriend, and after a failed blind date, the local bartender, Ahmad, suggests she joins a dating app. Filled with lies, catfish, and fetishing, the wild world of online dating makes Aaliyah think she's in over her head. And she is, but with her two best friends and a protective bartender by her side, what could go wrong? Everything. Everything could go wrong, and that's the problem. Because as Aaliyah is set on finding exactly what she's looking for, she ends up finding something she never expected. My prediction here is that she's gonna end up with the bartender. That's my prediction. I have not read it yet, but it is a book I plan on reading this month, so I'll let you guys know how it works. Plus, I've never read a Danielle Allen book, so we're adding it to the list of new authors this year. So the next book comes out June 18th, and it is Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. This book was sent to me. A physical book was sent to me by Penguin Teen. I think you guys know this, but I've said this many times. I've been a Penguin Teen affiliate for a hot minute. And I enjoy being on Penguin Teen's list. Shout out to you, James, for always caring about us over here. But I was sent this book, and I'm actually already in the process of reading this book. So I'm gonna make sure I don't actually add any comments. I'm just gonna read to you guys what the book is about. Okay, so it says 18-year-old Ayu Ying dreams of becoming a world-class engineer like her father. But after his sudden murder, her life falls apart. Left with only a journal of her father's engineering secrets and a jade pendant snatched from the assassin, a heartbroken Ying follows the trail to the capital and the prestigious Engineers Guild, a place that harbors her father's hidden past, determined to discover why anyone would threaten a man who ultimately chose a quiet life over fame and fortune. Disguised as her brother, Ying manages to infiltrate the guild's male-only apprenticeship trial with the help of an unlikely ally, Iogia Yang, the taciturn 8th Prince of the High Command. With her father's renown placing a target firmly on her back, Ying must stay one step ahead of her fellow competitors, the jealous guild masters, and the killer still hunting for her father's journal. Complicating everything is her increasingly tangled relationship with the prince, who may have mysterious plans of his own. And then it says, the secrets concealed within the guild can be as deadly as the weapons they build. And with her life and future of her homeland at stake, Ying doesn't know who to trust. Can she avenge her father, even if it means going against everything he stood for? Or will she be next in the mastermind's line of fire? I'm excited, and my battery is dying, so please hold while I replace that. The next book, I was also gifted the audio by Macmillan Audio, but again, I actually kind of want to physically read this one, so it might be one of those hybrid read situations. It is The Stardust Grail by Yumi Kitase, and this book comes out June 11th. So it says, from the acclaimed author of The Deep Sky, which I've never read, comes a thrilling anti-colonial space heist to save an alien civilization. That's a good summary right there. But for those of you who want more, it says, Mayo Hashimoto was once the best art thief in the galaxy. For 10 years, she returned stolen artifacts to alien civilizations until a disastrous job forced her into hiding. Now she wants to enjoy a quiet life as a graduate student of anthropology, but she's haunted by the persistent and disturbing visions of the future. Then an old friend comes to her with a job she can't refuse. Find a powerful object that can save an alien species from extinction. Except no one has seen it in living memory, and they aren't the only ones looking for it. It's giving National Treasure a little bit, but like I'm willing to give it a shot. It says Maya sets out on a breakneck quest through a universe teeming with strange life and ancient ruins, but the farther she goes, the more her visions cast a dark shadow over her team of friends, new and old. Someone will betray her along the way. Worse yet, in choosing to save one species, she may condemn humanity and Earth itself. There are a lot of trigger warnings in this book, so in case you need to know, it's violence and gore, xenophobia, xenocide, colonization, vomit, torture, war, infertility, chronic illness, confinement, suicide thoughts, minor, pandemic, and migraines. This is the first time I've seen a list like that on here. But yeah, it comes out June 11th. Are you gonna check it out? I am. It has finally come time to finish Between Earth and Sky, because number 3 is coming out, and it came out on June 4th. It is Mirrored Heavens. It is the 3rd book in the Between the Earth and Sky series by Rebecca Roanhorse. I have been reading these. I'm very excited about this one. I did have to kind of refresh my memory of the characters because I hadn't read the books in a while. So the book still involves Serapio, Shiala, Narampa. Yeah, those are the 3 main characters that I remember from the story. So yeah, I'm 7 chapters into that book. If y'all haven't noticed, I'm a mood reader, so I may not sit down and just read one book all the way through. I usually have about 2 to 3 books in rotation, and plus an audiobook for when I go to work. So yeah, I am currently reading like 3 books. Right now though, I have been reading more of the Mirrored Heavens because it is the finale, so like it's supposed to like pop off is basically what I want to understand the conclusion. I cannot actually guess what the conclusion is gonna be, but if you've never read this series, it's actually a really good series. I'm really enjoying it, so I have a bittersweet feeling about it ending. But the first book, in case you're wondering, what is the first book called? Why can't I think of the name of the first book, y'all? So the first book is called Black Sun, and the second one is called Fevered Star. Both of those you should check out. I highly recommend them. Another book that comes out June 18th is Rake's Fall by Vajra Chandrasekhara. It says Rakefall is a groundbreaking standalone science fiction epic about two souls bound together from here until the end of time, from the author of Saints of the Bright Doors. So it says, some stories take more than one lifetime to tell. There are wrongs that echo through the ages, friendships that outpace the claws of death, love that leaves their mark on civilization, and promises that nothing can break. This is one such story. All I wanted to do was the SVU sound, dunk dunk, after I read that, but yeah. It says Annalise and Leverett met after the war, but before the peace. They found each other in a torn up nation, peering through propaganda to grasp a deeper truth. And in a demon-haunted world, another act of violence linked them and propelled their souls on a journey throughout the ages. No world can hold them, no life can bind them, and they'll never leave each other behind. But their journey will not be easy. In every lifetime, oppressors narrow the walls of possibility, shaping reality to fit their own needs. And behind the walls of history, the witches of the Red Web swear that every throne will fall. I like it. I'm intrigued. You know, space operas are a thing that I'm realizing that I'm really into, but for sci-fi, I haven't quite figured out the type of sci-fi that really hits me yet. So when I do see some adult sci-fis pop up, because I am trying to do more adult sci-fi versus YA, so as they pop up more, like I'm hoping to really like narrow down the type of sci-fi that I'm into, because not all sci-fi gets me. I am much more of a fantasy versus sci-fi girly, but I do like to try new authors, so there's that. The last one on my list, yes, this list is only 8 books deep. The last one on my list is Pardon My Frenchie by Farah Rashan. Y'all know Farah Rashan has quickly found a way into my heart ever since I read the Tiana book. So when I learned that she was doing another book, I did read her 3-book series with the Boyfriend Project. I liked that series a lot. She really wrote like sisterhood really well. So I'm very intrigued by this one. This book comes out June 4th, so it's already out. And it's right up my alley because it says, the New York Times bestselling author of Almost There delivers the start of a new rom-com series with an enemies to lovers romance perfect for readers of Abby Jimenez and Jasmine Guillory. I've not read either one of those authors, but you know, I love me a good rom-com, so hence why we've been reading rom-coms like crazy lately. So it says Ashanti Wright is an ecstatic over the success of her dog. Wait, what? It says, wait, let me start over. Ashanti Wright is ecstatic over the success of her dog boarding business, Barkingham Palace. In fact, it has become so successful that Ashanti has plans to expand her empire with the doggy bake shop. There's just one problem. The building she's had her eye on has just been sold to the surly grandson of one of her favorite customers. Thaddeus Sims is not a dog person. He's barely a person's person. But when his grandmother is transferred to a senior living facility that doesn't accept pets, the former army officer agrees to care for her annoying standard poodle, Puddin'. After all, it was with his grandmother's help that Thad was able to build or buy the building that will soon house the PX, a sports bar all-around hangout space for former servicemen that he plans to open. Puddin' and Ashanti's French bulldog Duchess have become a bit of a sensation at Barkingham Palace's live stream because of their budding romance. When a video of the dog sharing a doggy treat, Lady and the Tramp style, goes viral, their owners are sucked into a media frenzy that captures the nation by storm and creates a sparks for their owners too. I think it's cute. Again, this is another great idea to animate. Give me rom-coms. Just give me some black rom-coms so I don't have to keep reading them all the time. Let me just suspend my belief and believe in love for like 2 seconds. Thanks so much. But yes, those are the books that I'm interested in reading that come out in the month of June. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them. We may or may not, but you got to stay tuned to the channel to find out. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for checking out my channel. And until the next video, guys. Bye.